I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
That's President Biden just a few hours ago on the economy. Perhaps he thinks he's changing people's lives a little bit differently than people think their lives are being changed. New Harvard polling shows 56% of Americans say they are worse off financially than they were a year ago because of high prices. Under current inflation, the average American is paying an extra $15 per day, every day. That's $460 a month and more than $5,000 a year. Obviously, the thing we see and feel every day is gas prices. President Biden says he has a new plan to help ease the pain. He's going to suspend the federal gas tax. He'll need Congress to do it, and the payout, relatively speaking for you, will probably not be all that significant. The federal gas tax is 18 cents a gallon, so a suspension of the gas tax would cut the national average from just over $5 to $4.83. The average car holds 13 gallons. Do the math. This means you'll save about $3 the next time you fill up. So inflation would then cost you $12 on the day you filled up your gas tank, but all the other days that you don't, well, there you go. So we're down to $5,400 a year. As we said, this would require an act of Congress and increase the deficit. Mr. Biden could far easier rescind his executive orders crippling domestic oil production, but that would anger the climate warriors, and he so far has shown an unwillingness to do that. We bring in Michael Ashton, founder of Enduring Investments, known on Twitter as the inflation guy, puts his money where his mouth is. You trade in a lot of these issues surrounding inflation in the markets. Do you, bottom line, feel as though the Biden administration really understands what the problem is and how to fix it and just refuses to have those solutions, or they actually don't understand what's going on economically?
You know, sometimes it's hard to tell between crazy and intentionally malevolent. You know, it's ordinarily, if the policies you're pursuing are having the exact opposite effect that you want, then the natural response would be to reverse all those policies. But you know, it doesn't seem like it's that hard a thing to do, to go and figure out that, you know, instead of blocking pipelines, maybe you need to accelerate them. Instead of, you know, vilifying oil companies, maybe you want to work with them to figure out how to improve refinery throughput. You know, those are pretty simple things to do. And, you know, instead we get a potential federal gas tax holiday or a de minimis release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
All right. And you point out every time that there's been a release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve over time, it keeps going on. Oil and gas prices, obviously, when oil goes up, gas goes up, although gas continues to go up significantly higher here. I'm a little confused. Actually, I'm really confused by this graph, but that's a different issue because they seem to have messed up the X and Y axes. But I'm thinking about where the markets are saying this is going. We keep having this huge evaporation of wealth in America and of people's retirements. Markets look forward. What are you seeing in the corn market, in the wheat market, in oil, in meat, in other things to tell us where we're headed?
Well, we can even look, we can bundle them all together. And there's an interbank market that allows traders to transact forward inflation prints. And so, you know, that market is saying right now that we're going to get close to 10% headline inflation sometime during the summer. And, you know, just a month or two ago, we were talking about peak CPI. I was talking about peak CPI. I thought we were, nearing the top. And then, you know, gasoline prices kept going up and up along with everything else. And now the real problem is, once you've called a peak, and then you got another peak, it's no longer clear whether there's another peak behind that one. So, you know, so far, all the pressures, you know, everything that I look at that are broader pressures, they're all still getting worse, not better. I mean, there are a few things, pressure at the ports, things like that are getting a little bit better. But you know,
everything's getting worse, not better. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I think about the prices that are going up. We all often sort of refer to inflation a little bit like cancer on the program, and that raising interest rates is chemotherapy. The idea is you kill inflation just a little bit sooner than you kill the economy. This is President Biden also today, though, about taking on inflation and prices. Take a listen.
So gas is up and food is up, which we're going to get down come hell or high water. But there's other things we can do.
Can you do anything about the economy until you get inflation under control?
You know, Greenspan said a long time ago that the best way to have the lowest unemployment and the best growth was to get inflation low and stable. That should be the first job, is to get inflation low and stable, because until it is, then it messes up everything else. Like, you know, everything that you're buying, it messes up the way that manufacturers think about passing through prices. It messes
up. Just messes up how everybody feels. Everybody's terrified and feels poorer. Hey, unfortunately, we got to run, Michael, but as you point out, this will not be the last time we talk based on your predictions.
I'm afraid that the beatings will continue until morale improves, and the morale won't improve until the beatings stop.
I like that. I'm hearing you now. I'm thinking about it later. We appreciate your time. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.